here. The theme of today's ASMR is cozy autumn triggers. So I sat down and pondered, what are the things about autumn that I find to be the most cozy? And I wrote them all down in a list, and then I thought about how can I make some of these things into ASMR triggers. So that's what I have prepared for you today, so I hope you will enjoy it. Before I get started, make sure that you are cozy and ready to relax, whether it's laying down or just sitting with a nice cup of tea. Okay, so the first autumn cozy trigger I chose was scented candles. So the first candle I brought it's called Spiced Mule Scented. So it smells a bit citrusy, but also kind of spicy and warm. Let's see. Ginger beer, dry gin, and cranberry juice decorated with a slice of lemon, sugared cranberries, and a sprig of rosemary. I really like how it smells. I'm the pumpkin shape. I just thought it was really cute. But not only that, it smells like vanilla. So this one is vanilla pumpkin scented flavor. It smells really sweet. When I was walking home with this, I was so nervous that I would break it because I had like 3 or 4 different glass things. And when I got to the checkout line, she said that they didn't have any paper to wrap the glass with. So I basically I had all of this glass with me, and I had to sort of get on the bus. And I was like really nervous that I would break it, but I didn't break any of it, luckily. So the next cozy autumn trigger that I wanted to tell you about is reading books. So I think that reading in the autumn and winter is so cozy because of the cold weather. And it's really nice when it's a rainy day. To stay home, listening to the rain and reading a good book. Also, if you happen to have a cozy cafe or library spot or a bookstore, it has to be pretty quiet and relaxing to be there, and also have warm lighting so that you're just in a warm and cozy space. And if it's raining outside, you can take breaks from your book and have a drink of coffee or tea or hot chocolate maybe, and look out the window at the rain and people passing by with their umbrellas and jackets. So reading, I think, is definitely one of the coziest activities to do in autumn, in my opinion. listening to books with my ears, which I'm able to do because of the sponsor of today's video, Audible. So I'm really so excited to be working with Audible today because I've literally been using Audible for so many years. Lately I've been listening to The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald every night before falling asleep. It's so charming, funny, whimsical, and a little bit spooky without being too scary, which makes it really nice to fall asleep to. The other audiobook I'm currently listening to is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I really enjoy listening to this while I'm on the train or at the gym, especially in the morning, because it inspires me to have a good day. I love the subject of self-improvement, and this title is really thought-provoking, and it has changed the way that I think about goals as well as habits. But if those don't sound like your style, luckily the Audible library has just about every genre you can imagine. As a member, you can choose any one title per month to keep, as well as access to an ever-growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts which you can download and stream as much as you like. I personally appreciate using the Discover tab on the Audible app because it's organized in a way that makes it easy to discover something new. Audible is offering new members a free trial so you can see if you like it. Go to audible.com/RubyASMR or text RubyASMR to 500 for your free trial. And if you do end up finding any audiobooks that you enjoy, leave a comment down below so that maybe somebody else can find their new favorite story. Thank you so very much to Audible for sponsoring this video and supporting the ASMR community. Cozy. So the next autumn cozy category is, of course, pumpkins. So I showed you the pumpkin candle that I got. So I really wanted to get those little velvet pumpkins. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're just decorative, squishy pumpkins. But the best I could find was this potpourri, which, in all honesty, I do not regret because it smells like very autumn. Kind of smells like cinnamon, and yeah. And it also has these little tiny pine cones, which are super cute. And then there's these little dried out yellow, sort of like brown, red and yellow sort of color palette. So let me just play with these in my hand a little bit. So, I've never in my life purchased potpourri, and so I kind of felt like a real adult. Yes, as I suspected, my hands are going to smell very cinnamony. It's very challenging not to drop this all over the floor. Yeah. to really enjoy carving pumpkins, and it's been a really long time since I've done that actually. I might consider it if I can get my hands on a pumpkin. Also, roasted pumpkin seeds are really delicious. It's hot. I left the spiced mule candle burning in my room, and it smells so good in here. Yes. I love when a candle is successful. Sometimes I buy candles and they just don't really make the room scented at all. Okay, so the next cozy autumn trigger category is knitwear. So I think I've come to learn about myself that knitwear to me is like the ultimate clothing. So sweaters and socks, leg warmers, gloves, hats. And I've picked up knitting again last year-ish, maybe earlier this year, at the beginning of this year. And I finished my first pair of socks. I'm actually wearing them right now. They're the most comfortable socks I own. So I plan to make more, lots more, so I can just wear hand knitted socks. And then I also want to make my first sweater as well. And I want to make a scarf and a hat for me to wear during the winter time. And then I also want to make more leg warmers. I especially think leg warmers are a very super simple thing to knit up because it's just a tube. So if you knit in the round, you can just go on and on until you're satisfied with the length. And they're also very versatile because I like wearing skirts and dresses. So leg warmers keep me nice and cozy and toasty, even if it's chilly outside. leaves turning different colors is really beautiful and cozy, first of all. But also, I love stepping in them and walking through them, and the sound that they make, and the feeling of the crunching leaves underneath my feet, along with breathing in the crisp autumn air. And it's not too warm or too cold, it's just that crisp feeling. Yeah, I know this is somewhat regionally specific, but where I grew up and where I currently live, something I really, really appreciate is the change of seasons especially during autumn and spring after a long winter. So, yeah, I think those feelings are just really, really special to me, and I always want to live somewhere where there's a crisp, fresh, chilly autumn with lots of leaves on the ground for me to crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch. The next cozy autumn trigger is warm baths. I love taking baths, and usually in the summer I just don't do it at all because it's really too hot and uncomfortable. So now that it's autumn, I'm excited to start taking baths again. I love to lay in the bath and light a bunch of candles and put like bath salts and maybe a bath bomb or some bubbles and just relax. I find it super calming and meditative in a way. Like, I sort of think a lot while I'm in the bath and just think about my life and what I want to do and like my career and all these things. I just sort of think about things a lot when I'm in the bath. I also love the way a bath makes my body feel because it helps relieve my muscle tension and any soreness with the warmth, and then it's really nice to go to sleep after taking a hot bath because it just relaxes me. So if you have the opportunity to take a hot bath, you should do it. It's really, really cozy and relaxing, comforting, comforting, comforting. The next cozy autumn trigger that I have for you today is apples. Red apples. Do you like to eat apples? So the next cozy autumn trigger, which I kind of mentioned before when chatting about coffee. It was raining so intensely today, and I thought that it would be really cozy if it was raining while I was filming, but I wasn't prepared yet at the time, and it has since stopped raining, unfortunately for me, but I thought that would have been a good timing for me. I have, in my flat, there's a rooftop window, so when it rains, it's so loud, in that area where that window is, and I really like it. One time, I was there when there was a thunderstorm, and it was really crazy because the lightning lit up the whole area. It was really, really cool and thrilling. The only thing that I dislike about rain is I don't like when my shoes or my feet get rain on them, so I try to avoid that at all costs. But everything else I don't mind. I also acquired this really long raincoat, which covers me from head to toe. It's so comfortable, and it's a lot more convenient to wear than an umbrella, I think, because I'm kind of short, and when I'm holding an umbrella on the sidewalks, I always have a hard time with other people using umbrellas, as well as trying to not hit people in the face because I'm holding it down here and maybe their head is a bit higher than mine. So I feel like I have to maneuver my umbrella the whole time I'm walking, and it's sort of challenging. So I like the raincoat because I just put the hood up and it protects me from the rain completely. But an umbrella is more convenient if you are dealing with unexpected rain because you can keep a portable umbrella with you, whereas the raincoat is kind of like a decision to put that on to go outside in the rain. Yeah. The next cozy autumn trigger I have is making soup. So, soup is like one of my favorite things to make in the autumn because it feels kind of whimsical, because I usually make up the soup as I go with whatever I have, or sometimes I go looking for ingredients to put in a soup, but I think it's charming that the same soup isn't twice, and I like making different flavors and combinations and stuff, and putting on some music and just chopping the vegetables and just hanging out. I just think it's really soothing and therapeutic to make soup. So if you've never made soup, I encourage you to try making your own soup. It's very difficult to mess up because you just taste it and flavor it to your own preferences. So, yeah, I made a soup today that had potatoes, carrots, onion, lentils, kale, stuff like that, and I put ginger and lemon and a whole bunch of stuff. follow online if you're a beginner. And then once you get the hang of the basics of soup making, it's pretty easy to improvise with different ingredients, whatever you have on hand. And it's really fun and easy too. And I just think it's a really good way to eat vegetables as well, because I don't like eating salad as much. When the weather cools down, I want things that are more warm. So soup, I can put a lot of different vegetables in there and get my nutrition. Yeah. Soup. 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 Okay. The last but not least cozy autumn trigger that I have chosen, that I have selected. I don't know. I thought about it in my brain. The icons of autumn: cinnamon and nutmeg. I should have pumpkin spice as well, but I couldn't find it. But I got these cinnamon sticks. Lately, I have been eating like oatmeal for breakfast with cinnamon and nutmeg and apples and honey and almonds. Super yummy and autumn tasting. Oh, I'm just going to really quickly, if you don't mind, I'm going to just put some nutmeg on you. Oh, it's perfect. Cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks. If you made it this far, leave a comment below that says cinnamon sticks. Hopefully there won't be too many of you, because you have already fallen asleep. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed tonight's ASMR session, and I hope that I was able to properly share the autumn vibes just using my descriptions.